Howdy there. So we're doing an SEO audit of CompetentBilling.com. I'm Kiram from Clear Imaging, and we design wicked websites. Been doing it for 2 decades, helped tons of American companies, and we know what we're doing. So here we are, and let's just check it out. So first things first, for SEO, search engine optimizations, it's all about doing things to your page to win Google's love. If you want to really simplify it, oversimplify it, one of the things you need is a lot of unique text on the page, and it needs to have the right keywords in it, and there needs to be enough text. So, we're talking about billing on this website here. So I'm looking at the keyword density of how often billing is mentioned. So it's pretty good. I say it's a very nice medium. You don't want to have too little, you don't want to have too much. For instance, over here, here's an example of too much. Electrician, right, 76 matches for electrician, all right? Not good. So depending on what the keywords are for this company, they would need to be dispersed through the pages in a balanced way. Now I just pressed Control U because I want to see. Press Control U, we are in the source, and then we see the title of the page. So this is the title up here. It says Competent Billing Home. So this is definitely an error. You don't want it to say this. The idea is the title, this piece, is a description of the individual page. So each page will have a different title. So we're on services. Now it's going to say services competent billing. We go to testimonials. Press Control U. It's going to say testimonials competent billing. So that is not the way to do the titles. This is the most important search optimization you can make on your website to win Google's love, and it has to be done very correctly. For instance, on the home page, a good way of doing it is to put the company name, the main keyword, and then the service area. Now, if you do not serve a specific area, then you wouldn't put it. But if you serve Tampa or Tampa or Clearwater, you should put that. Let's type in Tampa. Oops, Control F, Tampa. So you're mentioning Tampa once on here. You definitely need to mention it in the title. So once again, let's put Competent Billing Solutions, the full company name, so Competent Billing Solutions, and then whatever your keyword search is. Is it medical billing? So that would require a keyword research, which we're not going to do on this video. And then put Tampa FL. Make that your title. Don't use all caps. You're wasting space. Google only looks at the first 60 characters. So by using all caps, you're lengthening it, and Google's going to cut it off. For instance, over on this guy, this title is way too long, and Google is not going to look at the whole thing. It's going to cut it off. So this is why you don't use all caps, because you're wasting space. So let's get that homepage title optimized, and then let's optimize the title for every other page on your website. All right, for services, credentialing services, etc. You want to mention that in the title. Press Control U. So we've got services and company name. That's not how you should do it. You should get a little more, you should dig a little deeper, take it down, get more granular, and actually list out your services as your clients are searching for them on Google. So how are they searching for your services, right? What words are they using? Make that the title on the services page. That's going to be a very important optimization. But then again, don't do it like this guy, like a big old list of keywords like that. All right, and also, of course, throw in on your services page Tampa FL. You should try to throw in your city in the title of each page. So just go along like that, page by page, making the title represent the content of the page. That's all we're talking about. This page is about services. Okay, well, let's mention some services in the title. This page is about testimonials. Let's mention some of the type of work that you did for them, right, in the testimonial. But keep it short. Let's keep it 50 characters. So that is one round of SEOing for this website, doing the titles. Another thing that has to be done, of course, is a keyword research to see, okay, well, what are these medical practices searching for when they're looking for someone with these services, right? Revenue cycle management, et cetera, et cetera. Medical practice billing, is that what they're searching for? So you can use some free keyword research tools, or you can hire Clear Imaging to help you do that, and we would create the content for you. All right, so other points. It's good that you've got your security certificate, so that's good for your SEO. If you didn't have it, you would get a slight penalization. Other points, Google PageSpeed, a low score because this is a Weebly website, if I'm correct. And these platforms, they score really low because they have a lot of overhead, so to speak. There's a lot of extra code on these websites, these platforms, and it's just bloats the website, so to speak. So they're always going to score low on Google PageSpeed, which is unfortunate. If you get a custom website with Clear Imaging, we make them from scratch, no templates, no cookie cutter, tailored to you. And our websites score in the mid 90s on Google PageSpeed. Moving along, headings are also important for your search optimizations. If we do Control U, open the source of the home page, press Control F to search, type in H1. H1 comes as, it's red, so that means it doesn't exist here, phrase not found. H2, cool. So the idea is with this, is you have a hierarchy with your headings in your website, right? This is probably a heading 2, a heading 2. Don't know what that is. Heading 2, heading 2, heading 2. So Google looks at your headings. Your headings carry more weight than the text underneath them. This is very important for your SEO. So your headings need to be optimized. So all these heading 2s, right? H2. We see we search H2 down here, there's 12 of them. They need to be optimized. Now, I'm not saying go ahead and put medical billing in every one of these. That would be overdoing it. But having it generic, like we can help what we do, our services, working with us, none of these headings have your keywords in them, which is a missed opportunity. Now this one does. Let's see if this is a heading 2. Copy it, Control F, paste. It's a heading 2, good. So this is pretty juicy. You've got a lot of keywords happening in this heading 2, but the rest of them are not optimized. So let's get your heading 2s optimized. Additionally, your page has no heading 1. Control F, type in H1, there's no heading 1. So that's definitely a missed opportunity. That is the most important piece of text, actual text on the web page. By not having one, it's just a missed opportunity. So you need to get a heading 1. And as far as what the heading 1 would say, it usually reflects whatever your title says. So every page, in other words, has a unique title and then a unique heading 1. And the title and the heading 1 basically describe the contents of the page. The only difference is you see the heading 1 here in the page and you see the title up in the tab. All right. Every page needs to have title optimized, heading 1 optimized. So those are 2 points that we need to get going on this. Now, moving on, when we come to services, this is basically 150 words or so. And that is really not sufficient if you want to dominate in Google. Because the way a small business dominates is by creating lots of content. That's typically the best way. Getting lots of reviews, all right? Getting your Google reviews, and having lots of content. And by lots of content, I don't mean 5 pages, each with 500 words. That's just the bare minimum. That's basically you're starting at 0 if you have 5 pages and each have 500 words on them. You really need to get heaps of content. And that's why a blog is very important. And we see a blog here, which has 4 articles, right? Or so on this initial view. I don't know if we have more. But this is the idea, but it needs to be much more frequent. This last article was, that's over 8 months ago. So you can't consider yourself SEOing your site if you're doing only a couple pages a year. That's Jan. So that's 2 pages in 2020. So SEO is not 2 pages a year. SEO is basically creating more content than your competitors. So that's typically going to be a couple pages a month or a couple pages a week, depending on the competition. I like to go with 1 page a week. That's 50 pages a year. You're really going to dominate. You're going to show Google you're a thought leader. You're going to have so much useful content in this area that you're going to blow the competition out of the water. That's how you can dominate. But you can't dominate by adding 2 pages a year. So you can't get to the top of Google by doing the bare minimum. You've got to go above and beyond. So this is the right thing to do by having a blog. So this is the right move. It just needs more action. Every small business that's service-based, whether you're a landscaper, a plumber, a florist, hairstylist, personal trainer, all these service-based businesses, if they want to rock and roll in local search for people searching for personal trainer near me or florist near me or accountant near me, they've got to differentiate themselves by getting a blog and creating that content every week. And it takes some doing and some commitment, but you have to do it if you want to dominate. Additionally, getting the Google reviews is also very important, but that is the strategy, because where else are you going to add your content? Because content is the name of the game. So you're not going to keep adding new service pages, right? You only have so many services, and you're not going to put, revenue cycle management 1, revenue cycle management 2, and on and on. You keep it clean like this, and then all of your SEO content goes in the blog, and that's where it can live, and you can just expand ever after, putting more and more articles in here. And then you still have your nice navigation nice and clean. So that is the strategy. If you can't figure out what to write about, don't feel bad. That's pretty common. That's why people start blogs, never finish them. You should really hire either a writer or an SEO company like Clear Imaging. We can take it off your plate so you can work on the business and not in the business. It's really not worth leaving it on your BP every week and pushing it over to the next week, Yeah, I got to get that blog going. Yeah, I got to write that article this week, and then it's been 9 months and you don't have your article written. At that point, you just have to realize, it's time to delegate. So either have someone in your office or hire someone to do it. And that's how you can rock and roll as a small business, win Google's love, and move above your competition. So there's also quite a bit I could say about design on this page, but this video we're doing is just about Google stuff and SEO stuff. There's quite a bit we can say about design that is lacking or wanting on this design. It's got a lot of generic elements that seem like it's just like one of these other websites that's on Squarespace or Wix or Weebly or WordPress. So that is an issue, but we're not going to go into that on this video. Back to SEO. Since this website is built on Weebly, a platform, I believe, it's going to be a little bit tricky going to town on SEO because there are some limitations on these platforms. For instance, we were talking about the heading 1, right? There's no heading 1 on the homepage. I hope that Weebly isn't so limited that you can't actually code in a heading 1. That would be most unfortunate. That would make me leave the platform because you want to have your heading 1s on every page. So that is the downside on going with Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, WordPress. WordPress is okay if you have a custom programmer. But some of these other platforms, these drag and drop do-it-yourself websites, nothing's for free at the end of the day. You're getting X, but you're losing Y. That's why it's good to get a custom website built. Basically the idea. Anywho, if you want your website to be done properly, come on down to clearimaging.com. As I said, we've been designing them forever. I've been making websites since 2003, since the old days, and we've helped tons of American companies. Fresh designs, really wicked, and we also do SEO. So let us know. And that is basically it. So thank you very much and take care.